The game might be over, but we're just getting started. Welcome to the Todd Fox Post-Game Podcast, your go-to spot for real, unfiltered Angels talk, win or lose, on the Halos in the Infield Network. You never know what's going to happen. Walk-offs, meltdowns, heroics, or straight-up typical Angels disasters. We're breaking it all down. Who stepped up and took home the Golden Stamos, the most prestigious award in baseball? And who embarrassed themselves so badly they're stuck with the dreaded Nacho Night Award? Drop your comments, call in, and sound off. We're reading them all. So like, share, subscribe, and buckle up, because this show pulls no punches. And yes, Anthony Rendon is still a fragile little bitch. Take it away, Todd.
I'm a fox. My name's Todd.
Hey, welcome into the Heady Post-Game Show with your hosts, Todd Fox, along with Catella Chronicles' own
Dominic Lorenz. It's a big night today, baby.
Absolutely. You know what? It's funny because, again, this just makes you hate the fact you lost 2 out of 3 to San Diego, because you're playing the best of the best from the West, and the Angels did really good against the Padres, all things considered. But fuck you, Dodgers! Yeah! 2 in a row, baby! Yeah!
The way
Up
yours.
yours.
The way in which it happened tonight. This is the way. You didn't cave. You came back. Hey, we're 2-0 since the live stream yesterday. It is our responsibility why we are winning, people.
Dude, I love the game tonight. 11 runs tonight. I mean, when's the last time you saw that from an Angels team? Hey, I'm wearing the quarter zip. And
Look
that may have helped too. But, dude, I mean, I was impressed. There was a lot of ups and downs in this game. You know, they did a couple things, Dominic, tonight that kind of got me like thinking, okay, here we go again. You kind of build it. You had a 3-run lead in the first inning. You could have made it 5, but you stranded those runners, and you're like, damn it. And then right away the Dodgers respond and tie the game, and you're like, crap. And then you get a lead. You put another run on there. The Dodgers then put up a good inning or two, and all of a sudden you're losing. And the Angels could have easily just went in quietly into the night, Dominic.
Yep.
They really could. If this was last year's, the year before that, no issues, Dodgers win. But, man, they came up with a big rally. And then, you know, when they had to, they put a run or two to continue that, what we've talked about the last few seasons. Like, come on, guys, add on runs. Don't just stop when you get a lead, right?
Absolutely. And it was something that we have rarely seen from the Angels. Everybody in the lineup got on base. 8 of 9 starters had at least 1 hit in the ball game. So they passed the baton to the next batter. It didn't matter who it was, if it was Kershaw or whoever else came out on the bump. The Angels were ready to go from the drop, something that we don't see. Their most hits in a single game this year, and tied for the most runs in a game back from April the 10th against the Tampa Bay Rays, when they had those, 6 home runs in a game, 2 from Trout, 2 from Adele, 2 from Paris, all that stuff. So this is what you want to see.
Absolutely. And speaking of that lineup, I mean, again, we've preached it. We've talked about it. We were like, hey, man, they got to work some walks. They worked 5 walks tonight. We were like, hey, man, they got to cut down on the strikeouts, get it under 10, get it more respectable, like league average around 4 or 5. They had 6. We'll take that. Anytime this team only gets 6 strikeouts, because last night's game, it's so funny with all the stats that were read last night with, you know, I failed to mention last night, and so did you, because we were impressed on how they won last night. They struck out 15 times.
Yeah. So in that case scenario, if the Angels can start winning by striking out that much, by no means is that the plan. God, no. But if that kind of starts happening, at least that's one thing that actually goes in the Halos' favor for once.
Yeah, and that's the thing that we've always talked about. It's like, bro, you put the ball in play. Look what can happen. A lot of people on the outside look at the Angels offense and say, this team doesn't have much talent. This team is underperforming. Yes, it's not that they don't have the talent. They are underperforming, whether we want to blame the coaching staff, the head, offensive coordinator, Tim Laker, whatever. It's one of those things where it's like, dude, good things happen when you put the ball in play. Good things happen when you work walks and keep the pressure on the opponent. And so when they actually do that, well, look at what happened. And again, the Angels don't have perfect pitching. I think we talked about it yesterday. Starters have been actually the anchor of this team. The bullpen was going to make some mistakes and this and that, and they did tonight. And but the thing was, their offense picked them up. So that's been few and far between, Dominique. And your thoughts, bro. I got to ask you this question.
Yeah.
Now, the offense doesn't need to score 11 runs all the time, but let's just say they give you 5 or 6 runs when maybe your bullpen is kind of shaky after the starter gives up only 2 or 3. Don't you see the Angels winning more games than they lose at that point?
Well, that would be the hope at the end of the day, that the Angels don't get later into contests and choke the lead away and different things like that. But for a game like tonight, where, as you said, starting pitching has kind of been the key to success right now. And Tyler Anderson, I will admit, gutsy performance after a rough first inning by both starters. Kershaw nearly had 40 pitches. Same thing with Tyler Anderson. He found a way to shut out the Dodgers in the second and third inning relatively quickly. And then, even though he gave up a home run in the fourth, the Angels kind of bounced back after that, got through the fifth rather cleanly. So 5 innings of work, over 100 pitches. Ron Washington, even though, as everybody's commenting right now, he mismanaged the bullpen, and I'm sure we can talk about that at nauseum tonight, he allowed Tyler Anderson something that we have not seen managers in the past do since probably the Mike Scioscia era. Let their starters start. And if you're able to do that, we saw it last night with Kohanowitz, they gut it out, and they find a way to get the job done to give you, at least through those 5 innings where Tyler Anderson was on the bump, a continuous chance to win the ball game.
Absolutely. And as we're getting into this right now, I'll have you read off the scoring plays, but I just want to highlight the Angels lineup tonight. Again, with those 5 walks, 3 home runs, 6 strikeouts only. You had Zach Neto go 1 for 3 in an RBI. You had Shonawell 2 for 5 in an RBI. Taylor Ward 1 for 4 in an RBI, and 2 runs scored and a walk. Soler went 1 for 4, 2 runs scored and a walk. So both times he got on, he was productive. 5 RBIs for Ohapi, 2 for 5, including a home run. You had 2 hits for Renifo, 2 hits for Lugo, including that home run for better measure to put a little insurance on the board. Then you had Joe Adell with 2 walks and a run scored. So again, he didn't get a hit, but he got on base twice. And that's all we're asking for these guys. If you don't get a hit, at least work a walk. If it's just one, that makes a huge difference. And Newman even came through with 2 hits, season high, 2 hits.
His first extra base hit as an Angel tonight as well.
Absolutely. So let's hear what happened for the scoring plays if you want to read those off for the people.
Absolutely. Angels get off top of the first inning against Clayton Kershaw. His first start of the season looked a little rough. Only went 4 innings tonight, but Ohapi, 2 RBI single. Lugo picks up an RBI double. 3-0 Halos after a half an inning. The Dodgers tied things up in the bottom of the first with a 3-run home run from Pajes, and you're sitting there saying, okay, we're back to square one. 3-3 second inning, start over again. It was nice while it lasted, but we'll see what happens. But Todd's favorite player, Taylor Ward, has a nice night out in left field.
Never lost faith in him.
Never lost faith. His 11th dinger of the season, kind of went foul, kind of came back fair. The cloudy, cool conditions at Dodger Stadium tonight, the Angels powered through it rather well. And then they get an extra run on a Zach Neto sac fly in the fourth. So 5-3. Going to the bottom of the fourth, we're feeling pretty good, except for the weird-ass Kike Hernandez, whatever his shtick is that day. He was pesky tonight. Picked up his 7th home run of the year, 5-4 Dodgers. And then the wheels kind of fell off in the 6th inning. Hector Neris, back-to-back walks, a hit. He then comes out, I guess, injured. The trainer came out. Dalton Rushing, who I think is going to be a very nice, unfortunately, catcher for the Dodgers moving forward in the future.
Another pain in the ass.
Another pesky pain in the ass. Ground rule double to tie it at 5. Wild pitch 6-5. And then Ohtani, who the Angels kept hitless tonight, but he did get an RBI ground ball double play, 7-5 through those 6 innings. So we're sitting there and saying, Todd, you're watching the game. At that point, Angels down 7-5. What is your thoughts?
My thoughts at that point is this is just a typical, we won the first game. We're probably going to lose a second one and most likely tomorrow. And I'm already getting those bad vibes. Because again, years of failure, years of just being kicked in the crotch. This just felt like another scripted game. But again, pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. So as you're pleasantly surprised, at least being competitive through those 6 innings, yet again, second night in a row. Nolan Shonawell comes up big. He picks up an RBI double to get that scoring going. And remember, there was a situation where Kirby Yates came into the ballgame, left injured. They thought the lefty Banda was coming in, and then Luis Garcia came in. So there was a little miscommunication in the Dodgers bullpen. It then leads to that 3-run home run by Logan O'Hammer. Oh, happy. Oh,
Hey,
happy.
Oh, hammer.
Oh, hammer. Of course, he waited for Gooby to come back tonight to hit his home run.
Oh, yeah,
It was so staged. But Ohapi, his 10th of the year. Funny fact, Logan Ohapi, 5 RBIs tonight, a career high for Logan Ohapi, 9-7 Angels. Kevin Newman comes up clutch to make it 10-7. And then the bullpen got a little weird, gives up a run in the 7th inning. Dalton rushing again. Max Muncy makes it a little close in the 8th to make it 10-9. That's as close as the Dodgers would get as Matthew freaking Lugo. Matthew Lugo, he is a starting lineup guy right now. I'm telling you, Warden left, Lugo in center, Soler and Trout in right once Trout comes back. Adele rides the pine. And Paris, he might be the outside looking in, maybe going back to AAA.
I wish he could restart that spark plug because him and Lugo would be awesome in the lineup if they were actually if Paris was hitting, that'd be great.
If we had April Paris,
yes,
I think you could have them literally at the bottom. We talked about this last night. That bottom third of the Angels order, if they can get going. If you put Lugo at the 7 or Paris in the 8th or whatever combination on a certain day, that would be huge right now. But with Lugo batting well, Paris is not going to get the ABs. And probably with Ron Washington, Adele is just a tad bit above Paris at this point.
Absolutely. And it sucks, but it just goes to show you if Paris can get going, that's just another weapon for the team to use. Because I think Lugo's the real deal, dude. I keep wanting to call him Sandoval because he looks like Sandoval's little brother. But he's playing so good right now, and you can't keep this guy out of the lineup. There's no way. He's doing the same thing Kyron Paris was, but I do think with his swing, he's not going to get fooled later on when the pitchers start to adjust to him. Because right now, again, he's got the upper hand. But once they can see more at bats of him and they get more of a scouting report, I don't think he's going to regress as bad as Kyron Paris is because he's not taking that uppercut swing. He's just taking whatever they take him or they give him, and he's going with it. So I have to tell this. I have to give my impression now to Dodger fans when they said Kershaw was going to blow us out, and which I was agreeing at first, but let them know that this is how you feel. When a Dodger fan says, man, and starts complaining, just give him this sarcastic remark.
Oh no, what happened? Oh no, how terrible. That's just awful. How terrible. Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh no! What happened to the Dodgers? What happened?
What was great about that was MLB's social media accounts flashed that strikeout of Zach Neto to begin the game.
Yeah,
and then went dead silent the rest of the outing for Kershaw. It's like, oh, we maybe made a mistake.
Yeah, they're on their knees for the Dodgers. Let's just be honest. And then when you think about this too, when I went on ESPN, I screenshotted and put that in our group chat. I say, hey, look at what ESPN thinks of the Angels' chances tonight. They gave us like a 24.1% chance to win.
Yeah.
So
I love that. Well, here's the thing. Even through Ron Washington's mismanagement of the bullpen tonight with Hector Neris coming in, and then Detmers didn't look too bad, but it was really the back end. Kenley Jansen, balls of freaking steel. And in the third, 4-out save. And I loved him at the end, basically saying, Ohtani, get out of my face.
Yeah,
I looked for a minute. He looked back and just was shucking him off. And I'm like, what happened? And the umpire thought there was a feud. And he's like, no. I just want him at third. I don't want him bugging me on my peripheral.
Yeah.
What? Name me a pitcher in baseball that's willing to do that. And then call his own mound visit.
I've never seen that before. Again, he's doing stuff that just, again, he had a rough patch and Angels fans were like DFA him and all that stupid stuff. No, this is the kind of crap he's gonna rub off on some of these bullpen guys who are under the radar right now or they're rookies. So I just like that kind of moxie from him. But wait, we're way too late, and we have to play this because again they won, and I gotta find it first because where the hell did it go? There it is. We got some Stukas, baby. Stukas over the latrine in Dwyer Stadium, dude. I love it. The Angels win.
If we keep the trend going, you know what we should do tonight?
What's
or
that?
Maybe I'll do it. We got 11 Deos to do. Every run is a Deo.
You know what? Let's just do that real quick before we get into the awards, and then we'll do the chat. I can't really stay along too long, so you guys are going to be participating here with my man because I got family over, and I wasn't even supposed to be on here, but I got too hyped up, and I convinced them to give me like 15, 20 minutes. So you're stuck with me for a little bit, and then you got the great Dominic Lorenz. So, like, from whom the bell tolls, from whom the Deo tolls, each run deserves a... All right, there we go. 11
those Deos were as long as the 3 hour and 36-minute game tonight. Screw the pitch clock. Hell yeah.
That was awesome. Old school baseball going back and forth. You had a little bit of everything. This was a nice win. 11 runs, 13 hits, 1 error, 9 runs, 15 hits, 1 error for the Dodgers. The win goes to Detmers in relief. Yates takes the loss. Jansen with the 8th save. Excellent victory. Let's give out the awards real quick while I still have some time. And then you got a lot of comments, my friend.
Oh, we got to go through a lot tonight. This is going to be a good one.
Yes. So here, let's start out with the award real quick. Who's going to get the award? Let's talk it over. The John Stamos, Golden Stamos. Do you agree or disagree? I'm leaning towards Samo Hoppe.
I think so. If you have a career night at the plate, 5 RBIs, gets us started, gives us the lead back later on. He caught a very good game as well.
Absolutely.
But I think O'Hoppe's a clear winner, but there is consideration. I'm not saying we're going to change it, but Lugo could be an option.
Yeah.
Jansen with the balls of steel at the back end of the bullpen. You know, you can make a choice for even Tyler Anderson to gutsy his performance tonight. There's a lot of options, but I think O'Hoppe is the right choice.
There you go. So honorable mentions, but I agree. Now let's see who gets the Nacho Night Award for worst player on the field. And I think we're going to be in agreement with this one. And I love it so much.
Nacho Night, oh yeah, Nacho Night. Pile it up, load it high. Extra shame, hold the pride. Grab a fork, take a dive. Dignity's gone, but the cheese survived. Moldy cheese, stale chips, what a sight. Augie dreams gone tonight. Had a bad night, lost the fight. No more crunch, just take a bite. It's the Nacho Night Award.
The Nacho Night Award goes to Dominique. I'm leaning towards a certain 0 for 6 woman, an ex-wife of ours. Is it the great Shohei Ohtani?
Yes, and he will bow to you for that one. Thank you. Ohtani bows 0 for 6 of the Angels. That is the key. We talked about it last night. Shut down Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman. They did a great job of Freeman last night, 0 for 4 with a pair of strikeouts. They prevent Ohtani from doing any damage. We won't even consider the ground ball double play RBI because luckily it didn't affect, it just affects our cheeks being squeezed a little bit and freaking out a little bit. But we still win. So Ohtani is your Nacho tonight.
Yes, and one last thing on that. I'm a really, really good lip reader, and I could have swore I saw Jansen in that 9th inning point to Ohtani and said, "Get your bitch ass over to third." So I love that. Big time. Screw Ohtani, screw the Dodgers. We won, baby. And that's
we won. We are alive.
Yes, one more stupid. Now, Dominic, do you have the control of the board? Do you see any of the stuff? Can you read the comments?
I do. I do have the board. I have YouTube up on my phone. And yeah, I have control of everything.
So you can pop them up on the screen if you need to, right?
For example, do we want a little spritz o'clock?
Let's do it.
Spritz o'clock, angels play. Win or lose, we toast today. Sip and cheer, no matter score. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more.
All right, so there you go. I'm going to have to exit stage left right here. I'm going to throw it over to Dominic Lorenz. I see Randy, the producer to the Stars, is here. I have family, and believe me, there's no other game I would love to stick around, but when the kids are here, I got to make time for
Family
them.
first, my friend. You know what to do.
Absolutely, and you know they gave me this much time, so I don't want to get I don't want to get on their back.
They weren't going to give you the time if we had lost tonight. You know that.
I wouldn't make no. I was kidding. I would. You know me. But there you go, Randy. If you're on right now, if you can help out Dominic, if he needs any help right there, I'm sure he'll handle this shit to a T because he's a professional. I'm just the stand-in.
Oh.
So with my quarter zip, brother, I am out of here.
We are 2-0 in the Todd Dominic post game podcast live stream era. This is great.
Absolutely. So we'll catch you guys later. I'll be on exactly after the game tomorrow with more time. So there you go, Dominic. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. Celebrate well and tell the family hello.
I will. I got my Jack and Coke Ray already.
Let's go, Stukas, baby.
There you go. Have a good show, my friend, and enjoy.
Cheers.
Love
Let's
you all
enjoy
in the comments. Be nice to my friend Dominic.
Absolutely. Well, we continue here. I know Randy is somewhere in. I don't know if he's going to pop on into the show because we were very successful last night in the sense of Todd, myself, Randy, all in combination. We got the win last night, 6-2 over the Dodgers. Tonight, 11-9. The boys get the job done. And let's get into the comments right now. I got the YouTube stream on my phone. We got the comments to my right. We are diving into a big night of Halos baseball. Oh, boy. I'm not going to lie. I'll be perfectly honest. This was a game, 3 hours, 36, 37 minutes. We were squeezing our cheeks for a little while. It was one of those games where you're just like, please don't fuck it up. Don't be angels tonight. Do not be yourself. And when we are not ourselves, we're on a 2-game winning streak. And funny enough, first series win for the Angels since they took 2 of 3 from Toronto a couple of weeks ago back at home. So let's dive into the comments. Randy, I see you lower. Are you ready to jump on in with me, brother? He's giving me the thumbs up. Let's go. Patrick Carrillo saying balls in my mouth. Also, holy fucking Christ, is Tim Anderson bad? Literally trying to every way to lose this game. It was close. It wasn't great, but he got the out and beat the speedy Kim to second in the 9th inning.
Yeah, he did.
Freaking Luya. Randy, hello, my friend.
What's going on, baby? How about them Halos, huh? Woo!
Hey, you know what's crazy? By you being positive for the last 48 hours, we're 2-0. What in the world is happening?
I'm a clone. I killed the original Randy. I took over his body.
Let's keep going through the comments.
Yes, sir.
J-Dog saying Matthew Lugo is amazing. Finally, someone who can hit. Yes, I agree. James Malou, thanks for coming out last night to the watch party. He says, balls, and the Doyers suck. I think that's a great comment. Absolutely. We'll scroll through more. Randy, I know you had some great comments as well. You talked about the balls of steel of Kenley Jansen. And you know what it reminded me of? When he shucked Ohtani to third. It reminded me of when we all freaked out when Joe Madden, remember when he walked the bases loaded against the Rangers?
Oh, yeah.
And you had Mike Trout in right field like, this dude's like stoned. And we win the game. When you have some busty balls, you can win some games.
Hey, all I know is we put up a 10 spot, or was it 11 spot?
11 spot.
11
yes.
spot on the world champs, man. All I know is we're going to be over 500 by June, baby.
Hey, and remember the bet from yesterday. Let's remind the folks, if you didn't catch it yesterday, if we are at 500 or better by the All-Star break, Todd's got to get the clippers, the razors, the shavers, everything out. He's got to put on that bikini with, I believe there was whipped cream involved.
Oh,
somehow.
yeah, there's always whipped cream involved.
There's always whipped cream involved.
Always.
And he's going to have to do a little dance and something at Angel Stadium. He's probably not going to be able to get in, but in the full clown outfit, it is going to be a sight to see. So let's cheer on the Angels for that.
Oh, I'm going to be there for the video footage alone.
It's going to be so great when it happens.
And I'm still standing by mine. I'm going to wear a bikini if we make the playoffs. I'll do it. I don't give a shit. I'll do anything to make the playoffs.
And with the whipped cream as well, because whipped cream's got to go with everything.
I mean, I got a 25-year drought combined between both my sports teams, so I could use an October. You know what I'm saying?
Just want to relish in the October. I want to give a huge shout out right now. Boo Boo Bear. Oh my gosh. Back-to-back nights. Super sticker. Thank you so much. We appreciate it here at the network. It's going to go to some amazing things. Before we continue on the comments, because we got a lot to get to tonight, always want to give love to the sponsors. 714 Tickets, Bruheim, where we were last night, awesome place to watch a Halo game. And I know Todd and I and everybody on the Heedy crew trying to figure out when the next watch party will be. So keep it tuned for that. Underdog Sportsbook, the OC Dugout. It's always good to have the sponsors, especially when the Halos win. It's always a great time.
All right, Dom, now you got to take over for Todd. So you can either try this or I'll give it a shot, but somebody's got to take the Spanish lesson tonight.
I think you're going to I want to see you do it tonight.
Oh, this is easy. Pinche putos las dagas. Come on. Woo! I'm from Fresno, baby. Come on.
There we go. You know what else? Hey, if Randy's happy and the Angels are winning, we're doing it, baby. We're going to keep the good mojo going.
How about the O's? I know this isn't around the league, but hey, man, they fired their fired Brandon Hyde. Should we? Mateo wants to know, should we hire him? What do you think, Dom?
You know, for now, there's not a need. I don't know. That sounds very like, what are you talking about? It's the Angels. And no, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid because we've won 2 straight against the Dodgers. What I am saying is, Hyde is a manager. I don't see a guy like that wanting to go to another organization if he's not going to be a manager unless the market opens up. And typically you see in the season firings. We saw Pittsburgh. We saw Baltimore. We've seen the Rockies. You don't really see in-season hirings that lead to that manager sticking around for years to come. It's always the interim tag. So, you know, if he had gotten fired and like the Rockies just did it next week, maybe you take a flyer. But when you get to those firings in the middle of the season, you want somebody from within to kind of ride the ship the best possible, not outside sources coming in. Will I think he gets a job in the offseason? I think so, because everybody his first year when the Orioles were bad, we're like, no, this guy's got to go. He stuck around. He then goes and becomes the best team in the AL East, wins manager of the year the next year. And then, 2 good years and then a rough start to the year. Here's my big thing about coaches getting fired. And I've seen this, and we've talked about it at the NFL level, NBA, now Major League Baseball. I feel organizations nowadays in 2025 are way, way too quick to fire coaches. And I'll use the NBA, even though it's a completely different sport. Just hear me out. You had the Milwaukee Bucks win a championship. The following season, their coach starts, I think it was like 13-8, or they kind of were going through like a 3-game losing streak. Mm-hmm. Fire him, bring in Doc Rivers, and the last 2 years bounce in the first or second round of the playoffs. Phoenix Suns fire their coach after going to the NBA Finals, and Phoenix is one of the worst teams in the West. The Lakers win in the bubble. Frank Vogel stays for a year and a half, and the Lakers haven't won since. Boston fired their coach. Yes, they win the championship last year, out right now. And who knows? What if they go on a skid to start next year? They could fire. Everybody is so quick triggered, like the Rockies situation of Bud Black. They had been bad for the last couple of years. And was firing him going to make the difference? No. But you have to show some move for the future.
Yeah.
Even if it's the right or wrong move, or just it's a double-edged sword. So for me, I think organizations now are way too close or way too quick to fire somebody in that sense. That's my take.
Am I tripping, or hasn't Buddy Black been with the Rockies for like the last 20 years?
Longer than 20 years, since he was within the Padres organization.
Padres. Okay, that was the
for
other.
a
Okay,
while.
that's who it was. Okay, I was like, was there one or was there two teams that he went to after he left us?
He was the Padres and the Rockies. And if you
I feel like he was with the Rockies forever.
He was with the Rockies 2017 to 2025.
Oh, okay.
So 8+ years. He was with the Padres, funny enough, 07 to 15. So he's been a minimum of 8 years at each organization.
Man,
so
I don't know why I thought he was in one spot for like 20+ years.
And you think about it this way. When he was in San Diego, the Padres were not good. They weren't really good.
No.
They maybe had that one playoff year where like Adrian Gonzalez was at first base and they kind of had that one resurgent year.
Yep.
But he sticks around. You know, I know we all talk about it. Would we love to bring him back as a pitching coach? I'd take a flyer on a guy.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Why not? Like, I think something would be cool like that in that sense. But
I just think he proves he's just not cut for to be a big time championship manager. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you maybe put a better team around him because the Padres at the time and the Rockies at the time were not. But maybe you give him a better coaching staff and maybe you get a little lucky in that sense.
Yeah.
Well,
I think it's time to give you some flowers here, buddy, from Mr. Eric Ward. I'm gonna go ahead and read this so you don't feel like you're tooting your own horn here.
Oh.
Dom called it yesterday. Holy shit, we won 2 in a row. What if we sweep these bastards tomorrow? As much as I love this win, this pen has to get fixed. It's absolutely awful. What do you think?
I agree. I think the pen is a real struggle mark. And Eric, thank you for being a part of the watch party yesterday, dedicated, being here today. I appreciate it. I know this is Todd's part of the night. I know he's got family tonight, so it's great to kind of fill in and be that pinch hitter tonight. Randy, thank you for coming along as well. It's always fun. Kikuchi is going to be on the bump tomorrow for the Angels. He's been struggling a little bit lately. Had a great start. I believe it wasn't his last start, but the start before, I think it was against Toronto in that sense. But the Padres start, he wasn't bad as well. So if you look at this in the rotation spot, you need at least 6 from Kikuchi tomorrow. With the way the bullpen was mismanaged. Thankfully, I will say this, Reed Detmers gave us 2 innings of work. So that helps the situation. Jansen's burned. I think he pitched yesterday. He pitched today. Jansen is not going to be available for the Angels tomorrow. So you're going to have to look at Burke as an opportunity. That's probably going to be your long-standing reliever type situation.
Yeah.
Zephyr John's been used 2 games in a row. He's probably burned.
Depending on how that goes, you could even, depending on when you bring Burke in, you could even possibly have him finish the game.
Depending on the lefty-righty matchup, because the Dodgers do have a lot of lefties.
Oh, yeah.
And think of it this way. Neris is not going to be used. He came out with the supposed injury, and he pitched last night and today, so that's not happening. So pretty much every bullpen guy that pitched in tonight or yesterday is not going to be used. What does that mean for the Angels? Besides Burke, who would you trust in that situation out of the bullpen?
Yeah, the guys that I would trust are probably won't be able to play.
They're not going to be playing right now.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the tough mark for the Angels going in tomorrow. How? Because you cannot, the worst case scenario, Kikuchi can't even last 3 innings.
Oh,
that's going to be the worst case scenario.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't want to speak it into existence and kind of taper off, how we're feeling right now with the Angels winning and everything. But it's kind of the truth. We've seen this in years past. You have Connor Brogdon in the bullpen. You're probably going to use him as a former Dodger. Jose Fermin has not pitched yet in this series. And that's probably it. I did Sean Anderson. I think Sean Anderson's still a part of this right now. So really Brogdon and Jose Fermin and Brock Burke are going to be the top 3 guys.
Yeah. And that's praying that Kikuchi can go 6.
And that, yes, exactly.
Because you don't want. I'm sorry, but if one of these guys is coming in by the 3rd or 4th,
And here's a positive. Here's that now that we go from the negative to the positive. Kikuchi's last 3 starts. May 1st in a 10-4 loss to the Tigers, he went 5 innings, gave up 2 runs and 5 hits. So he went 5. Wednesday, the 7th of May against Toronto in a 5-4 Angels win, 6 innings, 1 run, 5 hits, 6 innings, good work. And then in a 9-5 win, that was the Taylor Ward Grand Slam day against the Padres. He went 6 innings, gave up 4 runs, only 2 of them earned on 7 hits and 4 strikeouts. So if he can at least give us the innings like at 5 or 6, I'll be happy. I will be indebted.
Absolutely.
But yeah, good comments. Mateo coming in since we took the series from the Raiders. That's the joke tonight. Can I troll my buddy Kyle now?
Absolutely.
I think,
win or loss, always troll Dodger fan.
I think you,
I don't know why.
I think I'm going to, last night I talked about this on the watch party. You have to wait till the game is finished to really make fun of him. We can make the jokes. Like, I didn't want to push the needle with Ohtani last night because, he could flick a home run.
He did too, right there.
And he did. And we talked about it. And I said, this is, So, Mateo, if you want to go, go crazy against your Dodger friends, do it, tread lightly, because you know how nice it would feel doing it after a sweep.
Oh my God.
You got to take it one game and, hey, we won 2 in a row. Let's go. We shut down Ohtani. And we still got one more game. So I want to say go crazy, honk the horn a little bit.
I find it hard to believe we'll contain him like that 2 nights in a row.
Again, it's a little bit like temper expectations. You got to try a little bit, but still, regardless, when we score 11 runs and get 11 of these, it's great. When you get 11 Deos, that's 17 Deos in this series so far. That is,
hell yeah.
Who would have thought coming into the series? Like, honestly, my projection for this series was the Angels were going to win 1. I didn't know what night it was going to be, but I say, okay, they took 1 against the Padres. They're playing a little bit better. I'd say they were going to win 1. And they've surpassed that. Set expectations low, and we make Randy happy.
That's right, baby. And this is a 3-game series, right?
3-game series before
all
going
right,
up.
so we already got the series. So hey, let's go for that sweep tomorrow, baby.
Eric saying Lugo swings the ball well in spring training. I don't think he's a fluke. Let's dive into Lugo right now. We picked him up in the Boston Red Sox trade for Luis Garcia, who we've tabbed for some runs over the last 2 nights. Randy came in. That was one of the comments. Lugo Libre. I like that.
Nickname.
I love it. Let's go.
It's going to be a t-shirt, baby. I'm making one. Oh, I just gave out my idea. Everybody's going to steal it.
Everybody's going to steal it now. No, Lugo Libre. I think the way I watched him tonight, he has a very similar swing path to a Taylor Ward. When they get that middle inside pitch right down the middle, they can turn, and it's a nice fluid swing, turn the hips, and take it out to left center, left field. And I think to balance that up, when Taylor Ward, I know Todd loves Taylor Ward.
Yeah, baby.
But when he hits and he can get hot, and if Taylor Ward can bat another, home run tonight, got on base, if Lugo can balance out that bottom third of the order right now, there is no reason why to take him out of a starting lineup right now.
Yeah. That's the thing with Ward, though. When he's hot, he's hot. When he's cold, he's fucking cold. There's no in between with him, man.
No, and with the lineup having to be adjusted right now because Mike Trout's out of the lineup, you kind of sit there and say, okay, what is the puzzle pieces going to be tonight? Who's going to be that 3-4 hitter when guys are coming up to the plate? I love Zach Neto in the leadoff spot. Mm-hmm. I know he's striking out a couple times, but he's still coming up clutch with men on base. Don't move Logan O'Hoppe. I think with what the Angels have right now, and I know Moncada was out of the lineup tonight. The thumb is being looked at. Doesn't look to be serious. So hopefully with the right-hander and Gonsolin in tomorrow for the Dodgers, Moncada can get back in there and swing the bat well because he's also riding, some good hitting right now that will help the Angels lineup moving forward.
Yeah. Real quick, Tyler, if I'm not mistaken, Dom, I think he's still got the rest of this year and he should be back to pitching next year.
Ohtani is close. I know he was working out in spring training. They've kind of got him on a very low regimen of, I don't want to say if it's once a week or he's doing long distance throwing. He's doing like 10-pitch bullpen sessions just to get a feel.
Wow. Okay.
The rumor is, from what I've heard from Dodger sources, is if he pitches at all, it'll be definitely post All-Star break. It'll be in the back half of the season. Honestly, if I'm a Dodger fan, which I'm not, clearly, I think if you want Ohtani to pitch this year and he gets medically cleared and he says, I'm good to go, because Ohtani's a decision maker at the end of the day.
Mhm.
He did it with us. If he didn't want medical testing, he said, no, I'm not doing it. Trust me, I know my body. And then TJ. Okay? So if he knows his body, I think if the Dodgers want to use him in the latter stages of the season, put him in the bullpen. It's low usage on the arm. And look at the Dodgers bullpen right now and the injuries that they have racked up on their roster right now. Imagine, and I'm going to be, a Dodger, hunk for a minute. Imagine if the Dodgers, I know it's awful, but let's be objective baseball fans for a minute. We know how Ohtani can pitch when he's on. Let's all be honest. We all hate the guy for leaving, but when Ohtani was on the bump, he was nasty as hell. That splitter is just
absolutely.
It's straight nastiness. Imagine that coming out of the bullpen in the 6th and 7th or 7th and 8th inning to set up your closer. And what if the Dodgers don't have a closer at this time and they have closer issues? Ohtani closed out the World Baseball Classic. It's not like, if you're a Dodger, like they're, just because Ohtani's not a starting pitcher doesn't mean he can't be effective.
No, absolutely.
All right.
All right, Dom, I'm going to need you to cue up old Lombardi from Mario here. I don't care if we lose tomorrow. We took the fucking series.
We did. Absolutely. You want some Lombardi? You got some Lombardi.
What the hell's going on out here?
What is going on? Because you know why? You know what was yesterday?
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
Yesterday. And the Angels have 2 wins. So, have we kind of started a winning streak?
All right, you guys, let's listen up.
Getting there.
We won a game yesterday.
We did.
We win one today. That's
We
2
did.
in a row.
Which we have.
Win one tomorrow. That's called a winning streak.
Of sweeping the Dodgers. So the options are there.
Let's go,
Options
dude.
are there. Absolutely. What else do we got?
Man,
Oscar
just
Lee.
hearing the word sweep the Dodgers make my titties hard, bro. Come on. Woo!
Saturday night special,
Oscar
baby.
Lee. Jeffer John has really been bad for a while now. Clench my butt cheeks now when he comes in.
Well, okay. We talked about it a little bit on the watch party last night. I wasn't able to dig into the numbers as much as I wanted to, so I'm going to do it right now. Great point right there. Looking at his game-by-game numbers this year for Zephyr John. In the month of March, he pitched just 2/3 of an inning. Again, there was only a few games in the month of March, so we'll wipe that away. He was clean baseball. In April, he went 2-0 with a 4.5 ERA with 1 save. 4.5 ERA sounds a little nasty, right? Like, okay, that's not great. But again, he pitched in 9 appearances. He only pitched a total of 8 innings because he's pretty much a 1-inning guy. He only gave up 4 earned runs in the month in 8 innings. And in each of those 4 games where he gave up, he only gave up 1 run each time. So it's minimal damage. I know it sounds bad, but only minimal damage.
Mhm.
In May, so far, 6 1/3 innings in 7 appearances. He's given up 5 earned runs, and he's given up at least 1 run in his last 3 appearances. So right now, definitely a rough patch against the Padres and the last 2 nights against the Dodgers. So what's the key for Zephyr John, I think, in this case? I know he's leaving too many balls up in the zone. That's problem number 1. And if you're playing the Dodgers, not great. You get beat by Ohtani last night. He gets a home run off for you. It happens. Tonight, did not look confident. Definitely going to get the day off tomorrow. Hopefully, and it's a very long shot projection. After tomorrow, the Angels have 4 nights in Sacramento to play the A's. A AAA ballpark where the ball flies.
Yes, sir.
Buckle your seatbelt for the pitching staff. Buckle your seatbelt for this bullpen because you want it to be, let's get through those 4 games. And especially Thursday, as you know, Randy, you are our resident Central California native. Up there in the Fresno, Sacramento area, on a day baseball game, your butt crack gets a little sweaty.
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little
And,
bit. It's a little under boob sweat, too.
You get a little under boob sweat. So let's just, focus here. Sacramento weather this week. Monday 90, Tuesday 90, Wednesday 94, Thursday day baseball. 90 is the high
here.
with the humidity around the 40 percentile. Okay, so it'll be interesting sledding right there.
Ball don't travel too well, but like you said, it is a minor league ballpark. These are major league ball players, so I expect to see some home runs. But yeah, when you're watching like minor league ball games out here during the day, yeah, that ball does not travel. Nighttime is a different story, though.
It is.
So cooler at night.
Absolutely. Isaac Flores, great comment. Could this be the turning point for this ball club? Why not?
Tell you what, we can after. Say we lose tomorrow. Just say tomorrow's just one of those days. Okay, we lose tomorrow. We take 2 out of 3. Cool. If we can take 5, 6 out of the next 7, man, like, I dare you.
Hey, we got a positive Randy the last 48 hours. This is amazing. I love this. But no, but to your credit, I understand. Like, even we have the series win in hand. That's great. And even in that Padres series, we were competitive, even though the bullpen had some bad situations and the defense wasn't great. You play Sacramento this week and the A's. If you could imagine winning 3 out of 4 against a divisional rival, because the Angels got their ass clapped against Seattle, did not play well against Texas, and did not play well against Houston. Okay? Mm-hmm. So right out of the gate, through the first month and a half in the season, the Angels have been dog water against the AL West. And right now, I have not even looked at the scoreboard for the rest of today. Did the Angels gain some ground? No, because the Seattle Mariners beat the Padres again.
I hate them sons of bitches.
Are you kidding me? Like, what is great, though, as I look at the numbers here, because remember, this week for Major League Baseball, it's rivalry weekend. Everybody's playing their rivals. Texas beat the Astros. And looking at Mariners beat the Padres 4-1. And the Giants helped us out by beating the A's in extra innings 1-0. So funny enough, updated standings right now. Seattle in first, 25-19. Texas a game and a half at 25-22. Astros 2.5 back, 23-22. The A's dropping a little bit. The A's have lost 8 of their last 10. So skittish right now at 22-24, 4 back. And then the Angels 19-25, 6 back of the Mariners. So only 2 back of 4th place right now and 3.5 back of 3rd place. Like, it's not horrible. Am I right?
Mm-hmm. No. I think you said it last night. The West is winnable.
Yeah.
If you can put together, a little win, some wins here and there, just win your series. Like Todd says, man, just win your series.
Take 2 out of 3, and that's what the Angels have done. And looking at the calendar moving forward, after the Oakland A's series this week, the 4 games Monday through Thursday, the Angels do not play an AL West foe until June the 6th through the 11th, when they have 3 at home with the Mariners and then 3 with the A's again. In between there, they have Miami, the Yankees, the Guardians, and the Red Sox. So you're going to have 2 weeks of baseball after this week's A's series where you control your own fate, but you don't help yourself out if you are in those head-to-head matchups. So get the job done and figure your shit out, because if you just win series, again, imagine winning 3 of 4 against the A's, and let's go for the gusto and sweep the Dodgers. You're telling me we win 6 out of 7? That puts us a little bit, we're at 19-25. That would put us at 23-26.
And didn't you say we had Miami after Sacramento?
Miami at home for 3 and the Yankees for 3.
We don't. I can deal with dropping a game against the A's. It's always the A's. The Angels always seem to have a problem game or two in a series with the A's. It's just how it always winds up. I'm used to it. But man, if we don't sweep the freaking Miami Marlins, I'll be pissed.
Miami at this moment is 17-27, 11 games back of the Mets in the NL East. And for also perspective numbers, Yankees currently 26-19, first place in the AL East, 4 games above the Red Sox and the Blue Jays. However, we know how the Angels somehow are always competitive against the Yankees, regardless if it's here or in the Bronx.
Yep.
So I expect, of course, we know it's going to be a very Yankee-heavy crowd at the Big A on Memorial Day week. But if you stay competitive, you never know what can happen. And we always talk about this. Winning can cure a lot, right?
And by winning, I win here and I win there. Now what?
Winning
Now
brought
what?
me out, baby. Come on.
You win here, you win there. Now what? Well, you could go for the sweep over the Dodgers tomorrow.
Let's go, baby.
Day baseball. Jameson Bruce has a big question, and I know we're going to dive into this one as we get closer to the MLB draft. Angels have the number 2 pick. Who do they take? I have my feelings, and because my main gig is I broadcast high school baseball, if none of you don't know that already, Huntington Beach High School. We start the playoffs on Tuesday. Black and orange, Huntington Beach. Let's go.
Come on, baby.
What do the Angels need? A lot, right?
Where do we start?
Okay, where do you start? Okay, let's shorten up that gap a little bit. Randy, hitting or pitching?
Definitely pitching.
Okay, pitching.
I'm always on the pitching side of things. I know I'm probably gonna get roasted, and that's fine. Give it to me, folks. But I'm always pitching first. Always have been. Always will be.
And I'm not saying this because you're joining me here on the post-game show tonight. I agree. The Angels need pitching. Absolutely. Now, for you, if you're the Angels, Perry Manassan, do you prefer college arm or you want more of a project on a high school arm?
Always college arm. I'm Joe Adele is why I wouldn't say Joe Adele is the reason, but I just don't like the whole project thing, dude. And I said it from the day he was drafted. That's a freaking project.
I agree. I'm more on the college aspect as well. However, I go contrarian on this draft. And I know a lot of eyes are going to be on the Angels in the 2nd pick in the draft. The Angels, this is a big moment for the franchise with the 30th ranked farm system right now. They need all that they can get out of this draft.
We need a home run at this pick.
You cannot mess up this pick. And of course,
Absolutely.
You don't know how picks are going to ball out until, 5, 6, 7 years from now. There's 3 pitchers I'm looking at. You have Jamie Arnold, the lefty out of Florida State. You have Liam Doyle out of Tennessee. And then the high school arm out of Corona High, just 10 minutes from where I live, Seth Hernandez. I know high school arms are very young. I've seen this guy pitch numerous times, not just as a fan. He's pitched against my team in Huntington Beach, and he is a juggernaut. This kid is legitimate. 98 easy, 99 can push it. He is just a
now?
Yes, and he's been
Shut
like that.
up.
He's been that way since his sophomore year, if not more. This kid,
shit.
if you look him up, Seth Hernandez, Corona High School. Watch the tapes. I think this guy is bona fide going to be a front end of the rotation type pitcher.
So he's an ace.
He is a bona fide ace, baby.
Okay. Ooh, kid.
I think if you draft him at number 2, and right now he's projected to go number 2, but I know the
6'4",
Angels.
I love that.
The Angels love their college arms. Look at Reed Detmers coming out of Louisville and other arms as well. The Angels are always left-handed pitching crazy. Get a right-hander. I honestly, if I had to pick between 3, all 3 are good. Arnold, Doyle, and Hernandez. They all legit. But if I had to pick one, and maybe I'm a little bit of a homer because I've seen this kid more in person with my own eyes, talk to their coaching staff, I've seen the tape, I would draft Seth Hernandez. And I hate saying that because Corona is the rival of Huntington Beach right now. I would go Seth Hernandez. I'm being all honest.
I mean, he's a big kid, 6'3", almost 200 pounds.
Yep. It's nuts.
I mean, he looks like he could toss a ball.
He can toss it, man. So, we'll I know more projections are going to come out, and we'll kind of see where we are a month from now, because again, the draft is going to be Sunday, July 13th. I believe it's in Atlanta. I think the All-Star game is in Atlanta this year. So the All-Star
they finally gave it back to him, huh?
Got to give it back to them. Rightfully so. Give it back to Atlanta. let the Braves do their business.
Yes, sir.
We'll see. But I think we'll have a lot of talks here on the network getting closer to that in regards to the Angels' number 2 pick moving forward. Let's get, you know what? We haven't done this since the beginning of the show, and Randy wasn't fully in the show because, again, Todd was in for the first 15 minutes. He's got a bunch of family over, and family time is absolutely the most important. So, Todd, cheers to you. Cheers to the fam. If you're just tuning in, Dominic here from Catella Chronicles. Randy, producer to the stars, controlling the post-game show tonight, even though Todd had his 15 minutes, literally 15 minutes of fame earlier on. We gave the Stamos Award to Logan O'Hoppe for his 5 RBI performance, 2-run base hit in the first inning, a 3-run home run later in the game. The Nacho Night went to Shohei Ohtani.
Sucker.
And if there was, I know we need to have this internal conversation of bringing the Golden Dong back, even though the Golden Dong himself is no longer in the Angels organization. I feel it's going to have to be maybe something like the, Acuna Mancada Award kind of type thing that represents the Dong.
I love it.
If there was a Dong Award, if the Dong was still with him, may he lie on your thigh.
Oh, God.
Oh, my gosh. We got to get crazy here. I'm giving it. The Golden Dong would definitely go to Kenley Jansen tonight. Coming out of the bullpen, a 4-out save. He told Ohtani, get your ass to third base.
I love it.
You behind me. No, you're not doing it. So, for those that are joining in on the show, for those that are still here with us, nearly 200 people watching along throughout all the platforms, X, YouTube, and I believe TikTok, everything else.
Make sure you hit that like button.
Yes,
gotta get that like button, babe. Come on.
And you know why we want to like? Because we're going to like what's coming up next. Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes, indeed. It's a Stukas night for the second night in a row. A 6-2 win against the Doyers yesterday and an 11-9 win today.
Yep. So what do you think of this one, buddy? From Eric again. You think Artie is shitting his pants yet, considering he's going to have to pay Neto and O'Hoppe here very soon?
Honestly, I'm gonna be in favor of Artie. I don't think he is. Because
they're probably not going to break the bank, I don't think.
O'Hoppe and Neto are not globally recognized like Ohtani and Trout were.
True.
And even Anthony Rendon coming off of a World Series championship. Okay? Yeah. I know, right? Crazy. Because Neto and O'Hoppe are not household names outside of the Angels organization and maybe a couple other smaller entities. I think you can get away. For example, Logan O'Hoppe. I forget what year he is due up for a contract. I forget if it's at the end of this year, next year, or the year after. I'm not sure. It's within the next few seasons. You could get away with giving O'Hoppe a contract along the lines of no more than 7 years, $200 million. Okay, let's start off with that number as the baseline. If you go below that, he is going to be a franchise catcher. So you have to give him the years on the contract. He's not getting a 4 for $90 contract. No, he's not that kind of player. You need to give him the years, and the money will come with that.
Yeah, definitely got to give him the years. I don't want him going nowhere.
Yeah, I don't want to see. Definitely, he's not a guy that should get more than $30 million a year. Let's temper expectations right there.
For sure.
Because is he a great catcher? Yes. Should he have a nomination to the All-Star game this year?
I think so.
Maybe not the starter because, it's all fan vote and he's not a global name. Let's be real. Just put Salvador Perez in the starting lineup. Just put that right away. Salvador Perez and Will Smith. There you go. You know your starters. Mm-hmm. I'd be shocked if it's anybody else. Pick me off the floor. However, I think O'Hoppe somewhere in the 23 $23 to $29 million range per year is a nice number. So
I like
7
it.
years times 20, let's say 7 times 25 million a year. You're looking at a nice contract for Logan O'Hoppe. If I can do math, I'm not doing math right now. That would be 7 years, $175 million.
Oh, hell yeah, I'd do it.
I'd say that's fair.
Lock it up.
And Zach Neto, I would say relatively the same.
But didn't we just draft him, though?
A couple seasons ago, yeah.
I feel like we got some time on him.
We have a little bit more time. And maybe if someone's in the chat want to look up the arbitration numbers and different things, I'll look up, you know what? I'm going to look up Zach Neto right now because I'm actually interested because we just drafted Christian Moore this past season.
True.
And he's scuffling a little bit at the AA level. So we got to be patient with his situation because you know that's going to be the future. Christian Moore at second and Zach Neto at short, as long as Perry Manasseh doesn't trade away. And I don't think Christian Moore is a tradable piece. Let's be real. Yep. The Angels put too much into that 8th pick overall. Let's see. Zach Neto's contract in this moment. He is getting $780,000 this year. Arbitration, his first eligible arbitration comes up in 2026. Arbitration 2, 2027. And arbitration 3, 2028. So he has 3 years of arbitration available before.
So we're looking at 2029.
Correct. So
and depending on how he plays, I would be surprised if by arbitration 2 or 3, we just say, here's a fucking contract.
Well, here's the thing. Put it into perspective. By the time he's done, or even in the middle of his arbitration, Rendon's money is gone.
Gone.
Rendon is this year and next year.
Yep.
So that helps the cause a little bit. Mike Trout will be tailing off because Mike Trout goes, I think, to year 2031. So you'll be kind of at the tail end of that point. I'm going to bring up Silent E's comment right here.
Sure.
I'm going to predict that Neto will get 18 mil at least, and O'Hoppe will get around the same, if not more, maybe around 20. Because
I think we lost him. I'll finish it.
Oh, we're back.
Oh, there he is. There he is. We got it.
I don't know what happened. What the heck? But no, if I miss it, Randy, restate the comment right there from Silent E.
No, it's I'm going to predict that Neto will get about 18 million at least, and O'Hoppe will get around the same, if not more, maybe around 20, because catchers get valued higher than most other positions.
Yes, I think that's true. Here's the thing. If you look at catchers right now, we talked about Will Smith, Salvador Perez, JT Realmuto comes into mind. I'm trying to think other big catchers in baseball. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, those are the top 3, unless I'm maybe missing somebody again.
I'm sure the chat will hit us with like 5. Watch.
Yeah, they'll be like, boom, boom, boom.
What are you doing?
Yeah, Cal Raleigh of the Seattle Mariners got a big contract. Cal Raleigh. Differences in that sense. But I think it just depends where we are organizationally, as Tony C put Cal Raleigh in the chat. Mm-hmm. Where we are when that time comes. I do not think the extensions for Neto or O'Hoppe are going to come until Anthony Rendon's money is off the board. I really don't believe it, because we know we have Zach Neto for a couple arbitrational years. For Logan O'Hoppe, he is in the same boat. After this year, he has 3 years of arbitration, and then he would be an unrestricted free agent going into 2029.
That comment right there, baby.
Go by
pitching.
Absolutely. Get pitching, because you have time. You have time on Neto and O'Hoppe. We don't need to lock them up early. Yes, would I love to lock them up? Yes. I feel they would be Angels for life. Pay them nicely in arbitration. Don't try to take them to arbitration court and nickel and dime them. Be nice, stroke the ego a little bit, and then maybe in that last year of the arbitration, there's the contract.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I found Matt Thias's burner account. He wants the golden bong.
Well, if there was a golden bong in the night, everybody on the Angels did well. I guess you could say Hector Neris, because he didn't get an out. He would get the golden bong award tonight in that fight. Diego, we really think?
Yep.
Do we really think Kikuchi can sweep the Dodgers tomorrow, or will the Dodgers take at least one in this series?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but I mean, the way the Angels have been hitting the last couple of nights, I mean, they've been putting some decent at bats together. I mean, if they can keep that up, and like you said, we can get 6 strong and then hand it over to the bullpen, man. Like, we got a chance, I think.
Hey, when you're scoring 17 runs, and we've heard this 17 times in the last 2 post-game shows. It's amazing what can happen.
I gotta know, Grill, what's going on in West Hollywood? You know too much about it.
My goodness. Well, I think it's
for you to check out what I want. Ooh. I want balls and John Stamos.
Kike Hernandez loves some balls. You know him and his little dick celebration. So
I don't like looking stuff up, and it's not my job actually. I don't know who told you that. I don't get paid to do this.
Producer just
maybe not this side of things.
Maybe not this side of things. It's different regardless of how it goes. But we're thriving tonight on this post-game show. Can't believe we're already an hour into the post-game show. It's a fun one so far tonight. Thank you. Like near 200 people joining in on 11 o'clock on a Saturday night. This is great.
Yeah.
You know how this.
You losers got no girlfriends or boyfriends. What a bunch of weirdos.
Man, what can happen? Like, this is what I say. The Angels start winning, and it feels good. We know it's a very small time scale that we can get the Angels winning right now, 19-25 this season. It feels good to beat your rivals. And you go for the sweep tomorrow because there's a lot of opportunity for the Angels. Because if we can pick up that sweep going into Sacramento, not Oakland, Sacramento.
Soon to be Las Vegas.
It's going to be I think they're going to be riding a lot of momentum in that series. And when teams get hot, you saw the Angels early on in the season, when they were beating Tampa Bay and hitting the runs out and taking series to open up the season. Then you had that 1 week and a half where the Angels really fumbled things when they got swept by Minnesota, lost 2-3 to Pittsburgh, didn't play well. I'm trying to remember the other series before they went on that road trip. But there was that week and a half time period right after the Giants series that just kind of bit us in the ass. If you turn around 4 of those games, we'd be at 500 right now, or even a tick above 500. So again, if you can just put a good 7 to 10 day period together, wipe the slate clean and start again, the Angels have opportunity.
1 game at a time, as we say.
1 game at a time. Absolutely.
Now, I want to hit on this comment because I was just having a conversation with somebody about this, I think the other day. I forget who it was. It might have been at work about a week ago or so. We were talking mad baseball, but Diego says Angels fumbled that Ohtani trade, truly set the franchise back. Not only did they fumble that, they truly, and I've never seen this in the history of any of my teams or most teams, where a franchise truly undervalues a guy, whether they know they're not going to be able to re-sign him or they just fumble the bag on re-signing him, or if they know they're not going to re-sign him and they truly do not just listen to any fucking trade offers. Like, I've never seen any owner undervalue such a great player and then walk away with literally fucking nothing to show for him. That is insane.
It is. And I think when you look at the Angels organization as a whole, you have to think of it in this manner. At the time, the Angels weren't winning, clearly. They had that 1 year, 2 years ago where they were strong into the All-Star break, went all in on the trade deadline, and then did not come out on the other side. I think not just Artie, many people in the Angels circle thought that year, if the Angels could at least push for a wild card, even if they don't make it, and show Ohtani that we can be competitive, that he was almost going to give the hometown discount. And I think that's delusion. That was delusional. You knew Ohtani wanted money. This was going to be his only opportunity to hit the open market. Because you know he's not leaving the Dodgers. I don't care what anybody says. He has an opt-out after the third year of his contract and the 5th year or something, and then that's it. Yeah. He's not leaving the Dodgers. Like, the Dodgers would have to
Well, I
piss
don't
him
think
off.
any other team is willing to take on the contract. I'm not even looking at the 700 million. I'm looking at the way it's structured.
Yeah.
I don't think any team's going to want to be on the hook for $60+ million when he leaves. You know, I'll pay $68 fucking million for a guy that's not here no more.
Absolutely.
Fuck that.
No, so I think there was delusion, and I think the Angels did not want to be on the side of things. As Diego mentions, you could have had Ohapi at catching, Neto at short, Abrams at second, James Wood in left, Jackson Merrill in center, Gore as a starter. Yeah, absolutely. That would have been a great steal. Basically, what the Yankees got, or that whole Juan Soto situation from the Nationals, and then how he went to the Yankees from the Padres, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
You could have got definitely, I don't know about Woods at that time. I'd have to look back, but you could have easily got Gore, Merrill, and Abrams.
Easy.
Or easy.
Fucking easy.
So,
that's even if they were just renting him.
Yep. Absolutely. Yes, 100%. So, yes, in hindsight 2020, and we talked about this ad nauseum, would the Angels regret not trading Ohtani?
Absolutely. I fucking feel regretting it. Ain't even my goddamn decision.
And the Angels, they're, at this point, as Tony C says, Trout might be activated Monday or Tuesday. The Angels are not going to trade Mike Trout. I really don't believe
Trout's
that's
never
happening
going anywhere. I've been saying that for the last several years.
No.
That's one thing I'll never be wrong about. He ain't going nowhere, folks.
No. So you're not going to have a big selling situation right now. Yeah. Did the Angels fumble it? Sure. Could we have liked to have basically what the Nationals have right now? Absolutely. But we can't look back. We can only relish in the what we have now mentality for the Angels.
You want to take Silent E's comment here, brother?
Absolutely. Let's see what we got. The usual value is around $8 million for each WAR, wins above replacement. For those that maybe just have forgot, they have a 3 WAR player will command around $24 million, and I think at the end of 2026, Ohapi will be around 2.5. Hence the $20 million. Neto a 2 WAR as well.
I love the breakdown there, bro.
Love the breakdown right there. Absolutely. Yeah, I think Neto and Ohapi in the next again. I wouldn't push for the early signing. We did that with David Fletcher, and it didn't work out. I think you let Neto and Ohapi play out their contracts, get to those first years of arbitration, see where they are at right now, and then after that first year of arbitration, Rendon's money comes off the books. You're at the latter stages of Mike Trout. You'll see what this Angels franchise is at this moment because Tyler Anderson's money will be coming off the books unless he re-signs with the Angels. There's, Solaire's only on a 1-year deal. There's a couple other 1-year deals, whoever comes in next. So be cautiously optimistic and a little bit patient. They're not going anywhere. And they right now have the eye of the tiger. They are striving to win. I don't think they're really thinking about contract right now. No.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not at all. Let's see. What other comments? Because I think we can survive, I think, another 10 to 15 minutes on the post-game show.
Yeah, we're just rolling. I know we're not reading them all, Mateo. Hey, there's a lot of people on here. There's a lot of comments.
We love you though. We love you.
So we're doing a lot of talking ourselves. And so we apologize for not getting to all the comments. We're trying, You gotta realize the gap I had to skip from where I was to get down to here to the live. Like there's a lot, man. So and that's just and let me be real with you guys. As if I can for a second, as I've been watching a lot of podcasts over the last 7-8 years, like as they grow, like it's hard to get to all of them, Otherwise, we're gonna be on here for 3 or 4 hours. And while we love all you guys, I don't want to be on here for 3 to 4 fucking hours. I love looking at Dom. He's a sexy son of a bitch, but I want to look at him for 3 to 4 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all. We love y'all. We love y'all. We love that you guys come in and incorporate yourselves into the chat. This is what makes Heedy. Absolutely no doubt about it. And trust me, what I try to do when I'm on, if it's by myself or on the Angels minor league report, or if it's with Todd on a game breakdown or whatever else, I look at the comments and I try to formulate my talking points around your comments. So maybe if it's not reading your comments one by one, I'm going to talk about the themes that I'm seeing in the comments section and bringing that in as well. So just, as a fun little fact. And some of you may be saying on the back end side, Dominic, what the He is lying. He is lying his ass off. No, I'm serious. I am because look, stream is going on the phone right now, and we're tracking every single thing. Abso-freaking-lutely.
It's like the fourth or fifth time I've seen girls say it's running up his butt. He's spending way too much time in West Hollywood. Clearly.
Man, oh man.
He says, pay them what they're worth to show them how much they mean to the organization and hope they'll stay. Abso-fucking-lutely. Mateo says, who would be the ace that would replace Ohtani? This is a question for Dom right here.
Well, right, I'll look at it two ways. If you're looking at what the Angels have right now in their rotation, now that Ohtani is gone, I think the best starter in this Angel staff, if you look at what they've done this season in their career and looking at the mechanics and just the body of work, Jose Soriano.
Mm-hmm.
I think Soriano has the best arsenal and the best ability to be the ace of this staff. Kohanowitz, if he gets a look, more maturity in there, get more reps under him, I think he could be a nice solid 1-2 punch right there. Soriano, Kohanowitz. Do the Angels go to the open market? I know Eric Ward's saying Verlander could be an option on a 1-year deal.
I mean, that guy gets older and he just seems not to suck any less.
Like he finds a way to figure out,
dude, it's the fountain of youth right before the season starts, bro.
It is. Right now, he's 0-3 with a 4.31 ERA with the Giants, so not his best season. I'm going to look right now at upcoming MLB free agents because we talk about pitching at nauseum. Randy loves it. I love it. You already know the projected number one free agent guy this upcoming season is either going to be Kyle Tucker or Pete Alonso. If Pete Alonso opts out of his contract with the Mets, which right now he's playing really well, I don't think he will. I really don't. So looking at the pitching market, this is how the starting pitching market, and again, guys, comment on the last name of the player you would love to see based on the list I'm going to represent. Dylan Cease, currently on the Padres. Zach Gallen. Framber Valdez. Chris Sale has a club option. Seth Lugo on the Royals, player option. Michael King on the Padres, mutual option. Jack Flaherty on the Tigers, an opt-out clause. So really right there, you have four of the top 7 starting pitchers on the market have either player, club, or mutual options.
I like Dylan Cease, man.
Dylan Cease would be huge.
Yeah.
Justin Verlander, older name. Jordan Montgomery, an older name. Shane Bieber. I know Randy has been a Bieber fan in the past.
Yeah, years ago, man. But these days, I don't know. Old boy's just getting older now. I mean, not that means anything. I mean, we look at Verlander, but I don't know. I think I've kind of cooled off on the whole Bieber thing over the last few years. I guess mostly because I knew it wasn't going to happen. Like I said, he's getting older, and I kind of want to focus on just getting younger and having guys around for a while, instead of just throwing 2 years at a fucking old guy. Like, oh, well, we got what we could out of him.
Yeah. You have Shota Imanaga from the Cubs. He has a club option and a player option, so interesting side of things. Max Scherzer, Clayton Kershaw. I think Max Scherzer, if this was 5 years ago, sell me a bill of goods on him for sure. Zach Eflin, Kodai Sengai of the Mets. And then as you get closer down the list, you're kind of in the middle room of like the Dustin Mays, the Freddie Peraltas. Nothing sexy. So really, out of the starting pitching market, you have a lot of player or team options. So really, you really don't know at this point. If I had to pick one like now, I know a lot of people want Dylan Cease. I'm going to look at the numbers on Zach Gallen because Gallen, who's been with the Arizona Diamondbacks for a hot second, he has been there for a while. So far this season, looking at his numbers as I can scroll it up, not having a great 2025, 3-5 with a 5.14 ERA in Arizona. Not what I would want. So probably on this list, I'd go Dylan Cease. But if I could have anybody take out the club option, mutual option, just go pick up somebody right now. Michael King or Seth Lugo. They're not household
I like the
names,
Seth Lugo. Yeah, Seth Lugo.
But Seth Lugo in Kansas City, like he jumped onto the scene as the Padres, and he's 3-4 with a 3.02 ERA. And Randy, I've said this a bunch of times. I am not a huge wins and loss guy for a pitcher because that's a completely offensive driven number. I'm looking at ERA, walk to strike ratio, and whip. And Seth Lugo would fit that hole. I know he's perfect for middle America in the sense of like the Kansas City Royals, but you never know. I know Mr. Grill Master loves his Michael Lorenzen. Honestly, hey, Lorenzen was great for us.
Yeah.
3
years ago now.
Gee, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's time to move on there, really.
I know. But I think you never know.
I want to throw this over to the minor league guy. Ross, I believe if it's Rose or Ross, I'm sorry if I butchered your name. What do you guys think? I'm more like Dom. What do you think for hitters in the draft if we go that route?
I don't think we go hitter, as we talked about pitching earlier. However, if you look at MLB's draft class right now, and I'll pull it up on my phone at the moment, this draft is heavily pitching through the first top 10 or so, top 20 picks. Ethan Holiday right now is projected to be your number one guy going to the Washington Nationals. The Washington Nationals are kind of in the Angels scenario, rebuilding that franchise. They have pitchers. They do have some hitters. It's really going to be up to what the Nationals do. If the Nationals take Ethan Holiday, the Angels go pitching. If the Nationals go pitching, I think that the Angels still might go to pitching. If they do get a hitter, if Ethan Holiday is available, he's coming out of high school, it would be a longer project for the Angels to get him going in the system. The first legitimate player that is college bound, as I look here, Eli Willits, he is a high school player. Okay. Avi Arquette, shortstop out of Oregon State. Don't need a shortstop. We got Zach Neto.
Yeah, we do, baby.
Pass that one off. Billy Carlson, shortstop out of Corona High School, teammates with Seth Hernandez. Shortstop. Don't need one of those. The next positional player that can hit would be Jace Lavalette, the outfielder out of Texas A&M. That would be the first guy outside of a high schooler. Or let me rephrase that. He would be the first college non-shortstop in that draft. So Lavalette or Laviolette, however you want to pronounce the name, out of Texas A&M. Big power bat, kind of had a slow start to his senior year, has come on the scene really well with the Aggies. I just don't think the Angels are going to go offense. I really don't.
Now, I'm seeing a lot of Paul Skeens in the comment. That's not going to happen. But what do you think it would realistically take to get him in an Angels uniform? Because I'm with everybody else. I would shit my damn pants if that ever happened.
Oh, Paul Skeen for sure.
Yeah.
Knowing Paul Skeen, I think he'd be the kind of person that would he would have a trade clause to like winning teams only.
I can see that.
I feel he'd be that guy. And the thing,
I don't give a shit about no Mike Trout. I want to win.
What we gave up for Giolito would be the base level for a Skeens trade. Like you would have to give up, let's look at the Angels' top 30 prospects right now. What would it take to essentially get a Paul Skeens? Mm-hmm. You're probably giving up Christian Moore, Caden Dana, George, basically your top five. Just give them your top five. Moore, Dana, Clausen, and maybe the young outfielder in Nelson Rada. You're probably giving up 4 of your top 6 guys. No.
Yeah, I'm good.
No.
I like me some Paul Skeens, but no, not at that price.
To me, you have to look at the organization. I think the Yankees could go all in. I could see the Dodgers going all in. I could see, the Padres, people like that. It just really depends on what they get. Unfortunately, with the 30th ranked farm system, it's not going to get the job done.
W. Baldwin thinks the Pirates are going to blink.
Here's my thing. The only way I think the Angels get Skeens is if he goes to the free agent market, which he won't. Because the Pirates won't do what the Angels did and choke at the opportunity to trade. They're going to trade him to get something in return. I just don't see that happening. Look at this past offseason. The rumors swirled about Nolan Arenado. He was kind of a piece of a trade bait for the Cardinals. Was he going to go? Was he going to stay? He declined to trade to the Astros. And then I read somewhere earlier this week there may have been a deal in place with the Angels, but someone on the Cardinals vetoed it. I don't know if it was him or organization didn't like what they were getting back. Again, I don't know the 100% truths to that statement, but imagine where we could be with Nolan Arenado right now.
Yeah.
Nice defensive player. I know the Cardinals are kind of resurging over the last couple of weeks of winning some series. So who knows? The Cardinals right now just one game behind the Cubs in the NL Central. If the Cardinals were to fall out of it, does Arenado get shipped at the trade deadline?
It's a possibility.
Possibility. You never know. Tune in for more because maybe Anthony Rendon could wear a Cardinals jersey.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say this. I don't know if the Pirates would blink. I don't know if they're that desperate to get rid of the guy. I mean, there's a reason, not only, do they draft pretty well, because the Pirates are one of those teams that usually have a decent farm system. They bring up guys and, the team's never that good and they usually trade them and they usually get decent packages and they keep that farm system somewhat, built up. It's just like Cleveland. Teams like that just know how to, build players and they're able to just trade them, for whatever they want, basically. So I don't know if they'll blink first. I truly don't believe that.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But looking at it as a whole right now and focusing back on the Angels, because Angels get the win tonight, 11-9, and this is kind of the area where we'll kind of start winding down and closing out the post-game show here tonight.
Yes,
as myself, Dominic, and Randy filling in for Todd. He came in through the first 15 minutes. He's out at home with family tonight, so we wanted him to relax, enjoy family time, but he wanted to show some love to the Halos for picking up back-to-back wins against the Dodgers to kick off this rivalry weekend 3-game series at Chavez Latrine. It's been good. Angels,
yep.
Maybe Dodger Stadium, they got to play there more often, scoring 17 runs, and they're doing a little bit of everything. Singles, doubles, homers, taking walks. They are seeing a lot of pitches. Dustin May, Clayton Kershaw, the bullpen. The Angels have been exceptionally patient at the plate, and I think offensively wise for the Angels, this has maybe been their best 2-game stretch at the plate, regardless of the results, but just theory, technique. And I think this has been the best we've seen the Angels come prepare themselves for a game.
Absolutely. And I know, like I said, I know I missed some comments tonight, guys, and I'm sorry. And I don't know if I missed Dan's comment tonight. Usually he asked for this. I'm going to go ahead and play it for him tonight because we haven't played it yet.
There's a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight, which makes me so horny and me love you long time.
Absolutely. All right, Dom, final thoughts, and we'll get our asses out of here and get our asses to bed.
Absolutely. It's we'll call this the Saturday night special tonight as the Angels get the job done. This is how we're feeling over the last 2 days.
Absolutely, baby.
You have a positive Randy for the last 48 hours. Moments. I'm serious. You cherish these moments. Randy has been put through the ringer between the Angels and his lovely Jets. And to get a happy Randy, and you laugh, bro, but I
love beating the Dodgers, man. Like I said it last night, this is like my World Series right here, baby.
We have heard 17 of these over the last 24 hours on the postgame show. And you know what we haven't heard, but we have to do it once because I know the people would crave it? We didn't play this once last night, I don't think, on the watch party. It's the Holy Grail.
Well, we didn't play it in the fashion we normally do. I think I hit it a few times just to be a butthole.
but hey, as we go into Sunday, it's the holy day for some. It is the Holy Grail of entrance. It's so good.
I gotta see if I can't throw that through the AI music maker and see if I can't come up with some kind of stupid song.
And AI will provide. But
yeah,
the immediate final thoughts. I think a great win for the Angels tonight. Always great. Don't disrespect. Come on.
Oh, I'm used to it. Leave him alone.
We love it. Hey, and as he said, our cheeks were clenched, his nipples were hard. It's a great night to be an Angels fan.
Appreciate it, Tony C. I love it, man. Anytime we beat the Dodgers, I'm always for it, man. I fucking hate those assholes. It's like I always say, I was born in a household or in a family full of Giants fans. We had a couple of Dodgers fans, and then there's me and my grandpa are like really like the only. Well, he was an Angels and a Giants fan, so the Dodger hate runs deep in my blood,
man. So let's preview tomorrow's game quickly before we close up shop here on the Heedy post game show. The Todd Fox. No, that's not us, but he was here earlier. Then it's myself, Randy, filling in for tonight. It's been a great night. Still almost 200 people still watching, and we're 90 minutes in. This is what winning baseball on the Freeway Series night is.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm going to guess most of these people are probably still in the parking lot at Dodger Stadium trying to get out.
I wouldn't doubt it. The smart ones anyway.
The smart ones. But here we go. Tomorrow it is a 1:10 p.m. first pitch, simulcasted on FanDuel Sports Network and locally in SoCal on Fox 11 Plus, which is the old KCOP 13 for the Halos. You got Kikuchi on the bump, 0-4 with a 3.72 ERA and 43 strikeouts this season. He has pitched 5 or more innings in 3 consecutive starts. The Angels have won have won back-to-back games when he has started. So hopefully the good juju connects for Kikuchi tomorrow. On the opposite side for the Dodgers, they will have their right-hander in Tony Gonsolin, 2-0 with a 2.81 ERA, 21 strikeouts for the Dodgers right-hander. And last time out, to put perspective for Gonsolin, the guy out of Vacaville, California. Yes, he is a California native. What was that?
I got family there.
Well, there you go. See you. And do you know Gonsolin?
No.
If you did, and the Angels sweep tomorrow, you'd have a lot to tell him.
Oh, absolutely.
His last start, he picked up a win against the Arizona Diamondbacks on Mother's Day, May 11th. He tossed a 5-inning, 3-hit shutout performance with 4 strikeouts. His month of May so far, he's gone 10 innings and has allowed just 2 runs on 7 hits, and that was on the road against Miami and the aforementioned Arizona Diamondbacks. So he's only pitched in 3 games this year, coming off of injury, so very light starter. He's only pitched a total of 16 innings so far this year, 2 games against Miami and 1 against Arizona. So still early
not a bad start to the career, though. I'll say that.
No, not a bad start to his 2025 campaign. He's seen the Angels a number of times before, but the Angels hit Dustin May rather well. They hit Clayton Kershaw in his season debut here tonight. So the Angels offense rolling on all cylinders right now. That's exactly what they need. 17 runs in this series so far, and we're looking for more tomorrow. Randy, for you, final thoughts before you hit the end stream button.
No, I'm like I said, I'm just happy, beat the Dodgers. This is my World Series, but hey, hey, I'm a little positive. I said we're going to be at 500, if not over 500 by June. So, I don't know.
Let the good times roll.
Are the Angels a playoff team? How about that one for one of the shows this week?
That could be that could be a sweeping post-game show question tomorrow for Mr. Todd Fox. But
there you go.
But for you guys, thank you for being on the Halos in the Infield post-game podcast. Typically with Todd, he was in earlier. He's having family time tonight, so myself and Randy jumping on in. Like, comment, subscribe. You know the business. Cheers to our wonderful, amazing sponsors, 714 Tickets, Brewheim, Underdog Sportsbook, and the OC Dugout. Cheers to everybody following along that commented in that are still watching. We're increasing viewership still as we're wrapping things up. It's amazing. Edie Network, for the fans, by the fans. This is what we are all about here. Randy, thank you for taking the time for jumping on with me tonight. And let's go for a series sweep tomorrow against the Dodgers. Day baseball at Chavez Latrine. We're looking forward to it. Let's give some good vibes to Kikuchi on the bump and the rest of the Halo staff, and looking for a big dub tomorrow as the Angels get to celebrate well an 11-9 victory on a Saturday. We'll see you guys later. Much love to you guys.
And speaking of wins, there's only one way to close the show out. See you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.